count as I stream still. I still do streams as well, though. You know?
Yeah, but the only streams you do are where you rage halfway through and quit.
That is not true. We do plenty of Clue Scroll streams. I've done plenty of Quest streams lately that I did not rage quit. I got through Broken Home with no problem at all. I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, doesn't that count for something?
No, that just means you're a freak.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could have just told you that. All right, let me go in and load up this new Magebucks code. The Magebucks code for today is going to be ESDE. Create new code, ESDE. And hopefully, like literally tomorrow, we'll be on Fiber.
Oh,
I really wish XSplit had a plugin for Discord so I could display Discord chat.
is yours actually fiber, or is it the sort of fiber that we get?
I think it's the sort of fiber that like it's fiber in between, but like once you get up to the house, I think it bottlenecks to copper.
Yeah, same as us, fiber to curb.
Yep, pretty much. But it's still a lot faster than copper all the way. So
I swear, if I ever get my own house and I have money, I'm going to just rip out all the copper wire and put fiber in.
this house is wired for FiOS, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they just slapped a fiber terminator on the pole outside at some point in time and they're calling that fiber ready, or if they've actually wired the actual house for fiber. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have a problem getting 150. I'm pretty sure even copper can push 150 if it's optimized to do so.
Yeah, I'm on fiber and I get like 40.
Yeah, I'm on fiber and I get about 6. I mean, I'm
Ouch.
on copper and I get about 6. And I'm done with that shit. I'm paying for 25 and I get about 6. And I'm paying for about 5 up and I get about 1 to 3. Like, no, sometimes it's even below 1. Let's see. 5,000 user redirect to Meshbit.tv.
Isn't that just due to Comcast being an asshole, though?
I'm pretty sure, which is why I'm just done with them. I'm done. I'm actually, honestly looking forward to the cancellation phone call. I know that poor representative that is going to get me on the phone has literally nothing to do with the pent-up rage that I have inside of me, and canceling is going to feel ever so sweet, and that poor person just, they don't know what's about. They don't know what's coming. I feel bad.
I do exactly the same, except I preface it with, look, I'm not angry at you, I'm angry at the company, so just bear with me.
Oh, yeah, like, that's...
And then rage out.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much gonna be like, listen, I will never say, like, you people, you, I'm just gonna be like, I'm Comcast, I'm, like, everything is directed at Comcast and not them. I was even thinking of being, like, the shitty company that you work for, and I'm like, listen, it's not their fault, maybe they can't find a better job than that at that time, or maybe, you know, it's like, whatever, maybe they get paid pretty good and have good benefits, so they're willing to put up with the shit, you know? I mean, I've taken a lot of shit in phone support, so I understand.
You know what's the most annoying thing, though? When you get, like, just... You know those customer representatives that are just awesome at their jobs and are so, like, calm that you can't be angry at them?
Oh, sure. Well, that actually makes me even more angry because I just feel like they're not on my side at all and they're actually deep down, like, sociopaths and they're enjoying every second of it. That's immediately that's where my brain
It's like
goes.
shouting at a bunny. It just... You can't do it.
You know, I don't know. It depends. As long as they don't have that, like, undertone where, like, you know they're, like, in the back of their mind enjoying your freak out. Because there are people, and I've encountered tech support agents out there who will just straight up enjoy your pain. And I know this because I worked right next to them, and every time they'd get off the phone, they'd be like, I'm full off this person's tears. Like, I've worked with people like that. I know they exist. So... as long as they're not being condescending to me, oh, do I love condescending people.
Yeah, last time I rang up about my internet, I got someone who sounded like my gran.
Oh, no.
Honestly, I was ready for yelling at them, and as soon as I said the problem, they went, oh, no, just let me get that sorted for you, lovey.
That's probably why they have her on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when they threw Maud Osborne out there after the first... There was a big treasure hunter-ish, like, debacle in August. And they sent Maud Osborne out there like, we're sorry. Because no one can be mad at Maud Osborne. Because he's like a freaking teddy bear. Like, if it had been, like, Mod Infinity or Mod Balance or, like, any of the other, like, CM team or even customer support, like, whatever teams, Like, they would have terribly... Mod Balance basically was like, listen, this is why we did what we did for Treasure Hunter. And he got, like, negative 250 karma. I guarantee you if Mod Osborne said the same thing, he would have probably not have even gotten negative karma.
Yeah, if they put Mod Raven on, he'd probably just enjoy it.
That would be... Imagine if Mod Raven was actually in charge of the customer service department. That would be hilarious. They would also be out of business within, like, 2 years.
Yeah, most likely.
Alright, so we're going to skip the applying for a PMOD status, I think, and we will put in Wildy Backpack Bomb, that's for sure. Wildy Backpack Bomb. You know what I've been wanting to do? Go ahead.
What's that?
No, you go, you first.
I was doing Lava Strike Worms, and this guy kept hopping to kill me. He never killed me, he was just pissing me off the entire time. He didn't even come close.
Oh, did he actually attack you?
Yeah.
What a douche.
He didn't come close because he was wielding, like, I think it was tier 70 bow. And I was in full Pernix with an Oxbow. And he kept hopping. He was just pissing me off so much.
I just did possibly the impossible. Yeah, I that's one of the reasons why. I will block Strike Worms more than likely when Slayer comes out.
There's such good money now, though.
Yeah, but I don't like dealing with jerkwads. Just hide your online status so we can't see what world you hop to. Yeah, that works. I was
doing that, but I think he was just randomly hopping worlds, so it didn't help. At most, I'd get like 10 minutes before he found me again.
Yeah. Alright, so there's the first chunk. Let me just go through the rest of these and give them labels here, and then we can begin the show. We're not going to talk about Poison Ivy today. I've decided against that after talking to Harley. It sounds like that is way too hearsay, even for me and even for an Elite show.
What's hearsay? What's Poison Ivy? Tell me.
I'll send you a link to the article if you're interested in reading it, but keep in mind that there's no proof that... What did I just do? 1 second. 1 minute here. Repeat. No, not new tab. Repeat. Thank you. Apparently she has been causing people to kill themselves online, and she's been doing so via, like, Twitter and RuneScape. But
what, is that the girl who makes like RuneScape streamers shave their heads and stuff?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about this. This is like literally news to me. So you tell me. There's her picture. So if you know her by her face,
yeah, I think it is.
I think it's secretly Sarah's alter ego, but I can't confirm or deny that. So we're gonna save that information until that case develops a little more, because I am not a Nightmare RH. I am not a Spark Mac. We're getting there. We're becoming that clickbaity and bad, but I still have some journalistic integrity, and I don't feel like we should report on that until there's more information, instead of just possibly making this person's life miserable when they may or may not actually deserve it. Let's see here. Can the games industry support another big MMO? I like this article. This is I like getting into these every so often. Can the game industry support another big MMO? And I spelled industry with no U, because I'm good like that. Authenticator not enough? No, it's enough, baby. You just gotta put it in the right place. Wink, wink. Regarding MTX, this show is gonna be like 50% MTX. Just warning you now.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, that's what people are talking about, unfortunately. RuneScape sent me... Oh, yeah, VR survey. There's a VR survey for RuneScape, officially.
Yeah?
They're looking into... Oh, yeah, and behind the scenes. We're going to open with behind the scenes Bounty Hunter. Which, again, if you are listening live, I apologize. There will be about 3 minutes of dead air as we play through that video. And I will post it as we're playing it so people can play along if they'd like. As far as I know, she's gotten guys on her streams, made them do silly shit to prove their love or something. This is... The freaking world of e-dating just needs to calm the fuck down. And if I remember correctly, her insert some social media here talks about wanting to go out Romeo and Juliet style. This is not a dating site. Interesting. Yeah, there's just way too much. I mean, listen, I've had plenty of girlfriends who have put on their like MySpace page back in the day. I want to go out Romeo and Juliet style, stupid shit like that. I mean, she's probably just an immature teenager.
All right, then here are some pills. Get going.
It's easier than ever before.
People who say Romeo and Juliet have a feeling they've never actually read it / seen it.
Yeah, and so basically, you mean you want the streamer to wake up afterwards and you're dead?
Pretty much.
Drama does sell itself, and you know what? I like, and even a friend with this like sexy video here. It's like, that's not. You know what? And maybe we'll never have 100,000 subscribers because of it, but I can't. I can't bring myself to that. I just can't. Unless people want it. No, I'm just kidding. No, there are certain...
even I'd unsubscribe then.
Yeah, no, I have some level of integrity that I'm not willing to part with. Let's see here. Authenticated enough regarding microtransactions. Do I want to stick this one in right before? Let's see here. Oh my god. Okay, this is like a yes. Okay, this is gonna be like a preface. I wouldn't have been able to craft show notes like this in a while. We actually have some decent things to talk about. All right, so we're gonna put this one right before the regarding MTX. All right, we might as well.
You know that bossing team you put me in contact with, by the way?
Yes.
He asked me to post a video on YouTube of the first raid so he could see what I was doing wrong and stuff. And I was feeling quite good about it until he started watching and went, "You're doing this one, this one, this one, this one."
Hey, this is exactly why I don't do raids and shit like that.
The thing is, I didn't have the heart to tell him I knew I should have been doing it, but I couldn't be bothered.
Well, he's not an elite subscriber, so he'll never know.
It was like he was telling me to jump on the black pools at Jellies, and I'm like, yeah, but everybody else was doing it, so why do I have to?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say. Discord. I'm gonna just really check Discord, XSplit, chat. I want to see if there's any way to implement them using Discord's XSplit stream kit overlay. No, I don't know if that's what I want. I have to click on it. What does this do? Discord stream kit overlay for OBS and XSplit. Installing and authorizing. What does it do, though? Perform actions over your Discord client. Interface with your Discord client. Yeah. And customizing your overlay. Implementing your overlay. This is not something I should be doing right now while we're live. I just wanted to see. Oh, you can... Okay. I think this actually... I'm gonna look into this afterwards. I'll stop. So this is the first time we're ever gonna put RuneScape Weekly Elite on YouTube. It should be available in both places if Patreon got its shit together. Ow, fuck. Excuse me. But if not, then maybe next time we'll have chat and everything going. But anyway, let me just finish getting these show notes together, and then we can get the show on the road. I have no idea how long we've been in pre-show. Because I have no way of telling, unfortunately. Let me get a stopwatch ready. So I can tell how long the actual show goes and do some math. Make my life easier. Alright, let's see here.
You don't like math?
I don't, but sometimes it's necessary. Authenticator, not enough, but didn't I already put that one in? No? Okay. So we're gonna do BTS Bounty Hunter, obviously, to start the show. Get that in there. Then we need... we're going to do stop the banners after all of the nonsense. Then we will do... I think we're going to do these in this category here. We're going to do the off-site one, followed by that. And then the VR survey. This is more of a PSA than anything else. I'm just going to PSA it. Help us out. Shall we just quickly PSA VR survey from Jagex. this. And I will make this even easier for my life and go get the bit.ly link. I think it was a bit.ly link. No, it was a straight up SurveyMonkey link. Whatever. Not a big deal. It's still smaller. Okay. You sent message in chat when you started the show, which was 30 minutes ago. What? What happened? Oh, that's smart. I didn't even think to do that. But I went live not quite then, but that gives me a basic idea, I suppose. Didn't even think to try and do that. I was just going to take the time of the recording, minus it from whatever the full duration of the video was to tell me how long the pre-show was. Anyway, show notes are pretty much good to go. Today is the 30th. I should probably change that. And we are doing RuneScape Weekly Elite, even though I can't spell, /type. Alright, RuneScape Weekly Elite for the 30th, 2016. Stormsmith is our co-host. Everything else, the Magebucks code as ESDE, E-S-D-E. Good Redemption, PSA VR from Jay. Okay. Okay. How you feeling, Storm? You ready to get this show on the road?
Yeah, I'm just fighting with Chrome at the moment to get links open.
Oh yeah, take your time. I should try to do that too still. I think I'm actually just gonna pull up like another instance of Chrome, make my life a little easier here. Okay. BTS Bounty Hunter. Opening links. Opening links. Yeah, we got more topics than I was afraid there wasn't gonna be enough for today's show, but it looks like we have mucho. Alright, we're going to end with Wildy Backpack Bomb. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, about 20 topics roughly. That's plenty. There we go. And I'm going to start my stopwatch. We're already recording via XSplit. So let's do this. In 3, 2, hang on. Oh, my sinuses just like shut down on me there. 3, 2, 1. You're listening to RuneScape Weekly Elite for 10/30/2016. I'm your host, Magebit, with over 15 years of RuneScape experience. Joining me today is Stormsmith. And on today's show, behind the scenes bounty hunter, can the game industry support another big MMO? Authenticator not enough? Regarding MTX, zombie promo problem. Zombie bite is a huge mistake. This is unacceptable. Yet another walk like a zombie thread. Suggestions for next time. Stop the banners. Jagex, go to PAX. Instant mash cack stack. In Soviet RuneScape, Jagex bots you. I was banned. Where is my makeup membership? Wildy Backpack Bomb. Thank you for tuning into this edition of RuneScape Weekly Elite, and enjoy the show. Welcome back for your Elite edition of RuneScape Weekly. If you're listening to this episode, it means you are a paying supporter of the show, and I greatly appreciate that. And this is a momentous occasion indeed. Very special edition of RuneScape Weekly Elite. It's the return of Stormsmith. How you doing, Storm?
Hello, mate. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. It's been a while. It's a good while since you've been on the show. Probably like 6 months or so, I would say.
I blame Overwatch.
Have you been playing Overwatch?
Yeah, I got it on Xbox and I've been playing with my girlfriend.
Why would you get the perfect PC shooter on a console? Is my first question. First question.
I asked for it from my dad and he decided that Xbox was better than PC. I tried to school him, it didn't work.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love Overwatch. I've been on and off Overwatch. I'm not as dedicated as a lot of other people, mainly because of my anger issues. Generally, it doesn't allow me to play the game for more than like 30 minutes at a time. But I do love the game. It's a great game. It's a valid excuse, that's for sure. You also got pretty deep into Warframe, didn't you?
Yeah, I was playing it on and off. I decided to jump on, and it's same old grind for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that every MMO though? Like, couldn't that be said about RuneScape too?
Yeah, but usually you get something for your grind. In Warframe, it's just you get prime Warframes that do literally nothing over the previous one.
Really, nothing. I thought they were like more powerful in some way, shape, or form.
No, yeah, sort of. If you consider like a 2% buff more powerful.
I mean, I do. I mean, I've been fighting for trying to get 2% buff over the, like, I have 5% and you can get 7% if you have this other outfit. So it's like I'm salty that I don't have that 2%. So I guess the answer to that would be yes. But I played a lot of Warframe myself. Sunk way too much money into that game, way more than it deserved. But it's a fun game. Anyway, what brought you back to RuneScape? The fact that nobody can ever escape, or do you have a more unique reason?
One, nobody can ever escape, and two, my girlfriend got a bit bored of Overwatch.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
To be fair, though, she's a damn good mercy. Apart from when you're tanking, you get in the middle of a fight and she deserts you.
See, my Overwatch stats are, I think I am like 90% Lucio. I love Lucio, and I'm really good. I can kill most heroes one-on-one as Lucio. I had a great match last night, not last night, the night before, where we were playing, I think it was Jean Lee or something. Whatever, the one where it has like that dojo, there's actually two that have dojos. Not the one that has two JoJos, but the one that has a single dojo and it looks like it's in like downtown Tokyo. I don't know if this is helping at all, if anyone is able to visualize this map. But in the behind the little like house / dojo is just like, you know, a death pit. And I was just standing at the door, and the enemies just kept running through the door, and I just kept right-click sound blasting them into the abyss. And literally, I got play of the game from environmental kills. I was just standing there, and they just kept walking through, and I just kept right-clicking, and they just kept going. Like, how do you just saw the last person get blown off the cliff? Why would you walk right in after them and have the same thing? I don't know. It was fun. It's fun. It's fun times.
Oh, my favorite's got to be Harambe.
You know,
the monkey's amazing.
I do like Winston a lot. He's good shit. We've won a few games as all Winston, which I thought was amusing.
Oh yeah, during the beta, that was fun.
Yeah, we carried that legacy on though. We've done that again with Winston. We did it with Roadhog. We've done it with Tracer. I think it's just a common thing. People get angry at you when you hero stack nowadays, but back in the day, it was an acceptable foray into insanity. Anyway, welcome back to RuneScape. It's a pleasure to have you back on board, and of course, anytime we can snag you for the Sunday show, I am more than happy to have you. So real quick, we are going to first do the behind the scenes that we literally waited for. We stretched Friday's episode trying to hold out for it, and I said literally, the second we go off the air, it's going to be posted. And we waited probably about 20-30 minutes past when we had any actual content to talk about on Friday's show, and I'm like, you know what, we can't stretch this anymore. I got stuff to do. And literally as we go off, Shawnee tweets out, he's like, oh yeah, BTS will be up in a second. I'm like, oh, why do you do this to me? So we're going to do it now. I'm going to toss this into the Patreon exclusive chat. So again, if you're live and you want to follow along with us, there you go. There's the article along with the video. If you want just the video, I can do that as well and just embed the video for those people on mobile devices to make their lives a little bit easier. Anyway, why don't we go ahead and listen to behind the scenes number 212, Bounty Hunter.
After lots of hard work from the ninjas, Bounty Hunter is almost ready to take its place back in the wilderness. Over to Mod Pie for all the details.
On the 14th of November, we'll be releasing Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter is sort of a mini-game, sort of a theme over the wilderness where you'll get pitched against another target. That target will have you as a target as well, and you'll have to go out and kill them. Bounty Hunter was originally introduced because of the removal of the wilderness. It was a much more structured form than the wilderness, which around the time when we were removing free trade, the structured nature allowed us to keep PKing in the game. Sadly, the original system didn't really work as well as we wanted, and we had to remove it because it was injecting far too much money and the system was far too breakable. The new way in which Bounty Hunter will work is that we're actually using a rating system. It's a well-known rating system called an ELO rating system. What that rating system allows us to do is matchmake you against your targets. Previously, it was done via combat level, which any PKer will know that combat level isn't the be-all and end-all of how good you are at PKing. There's a lot that comes down to skill. So now you will get matched against someone who is good against you, and that allows us to be a lot more bold in what we're offering. There's also a lot of anti-farming mechanics. Your rogue kills aren't as profitable as your bounty kills will be. There's not many requirements. The only requirement is that you have to be at least level 20 combat. The way in which the new reward system works, when you kill your bounty target or your rogue target, there's a chance that they will drop an emblem. If you have an emblem that from your previous kill, you can actually upgrade that emblem, and it's always worth upgrading because you'll get more reward points. When you cash in those emblems for points, you can spend those points for awesome rewards in Edgeville. So we've got some pretty sweet rewards for Bounty Hunter. We have the large rune pouch to complement the small rune pouch. This one holds 3 types of runes and will be equipable in your ammo slot. It's also tradable, so PKers can trade this to other players who would want it but don't necessarily want to PK to make some money on the side. We have upgrades to all of the Ancient Warrior equipment. We have upgrades to the Dragon Dagger, Dragon Claws, Dragon Longsword, Dragon Scimitar, and the Dragon Mace, which upgrades them to tier 70. The Crucible weapons, so the weapons the Supreme Hunter would have used in Crucible, we're actually releasing them as tier 87 weapons with some pretty sweet special attacks. You should take part in Bounty Hunter because it's great fun. You're matched against someone who is close to your skill, and most importantly, the rewards are going to be worth bank.
Make sure you're here this time next week as we find out what November has in store in the month ahead.
So right at the end there's a little sneak peek of what looks like you in some sort of mines on another silver penny farthing bike. Looks like they're going to be reusing that asset for possibly a quest coming up next month. Which also kind of looked a little bit like the Daled Mines to me, but only like just in atmosphere, not in the actual layout of the building or anything. It was interesting. It looked fairly dark and gloomy, and like there was ore and stuff. I don't know, weird. But yeah, so there's your behind the scenes for Bounty Hunter coming to the game November 14th. Which is a Monday, of course. We will not be covering that as far as a live stream goes because PvP. But I'm interested to see if this actually does anything for the PvP community. We will be covering it on purely a news reporting level. Storm, do you have any interest in this update, or did you have any interest in Deathmatch as well, or just PvP in general? Do you think this is a good addition to the game, or are we wasting our time trying to resurrect PvP in 2016?
It's nice having PvP around, but I think it's a bit too expensive at the moment to go in with decent armor.
Yeah, absolutely. I would not. I mean, I don't want to risk anything. To be honest with you, it's just not my style. What I do like is that there is armor you can purchase from the deathmatch game. That is basically consumable for this type of activity, although that means you are going to be playing a lot of deathmatch to unlock that armor, and I don't know if you've been following Reddit at all, but deathmatch looks kind of dead, so getting any points in that may or may not be possible. Go ahead.
You see, what I was sort of hoping for was they'd do similar to the Demonic Skull.
Sure.
So you could spend like 500k a mil on tier 80 armor, and then if someone kills you, just the cash is dropped.
That would be nice. That would be nice. There was an issue. I don't know. Like there was that whole problem with the original system where people were just kind of using it as a way to just kind of either transfer money or build up fake wealth per se. So I don't know if I don't know how that plays into this new system as far as items dropped goes. But I do like the idea of items like the Demonic Skull where you just equip them and it just makes you a certain value. Yada yada yada. That would be interesting. I mean, you could always just equip the demonic skull, but of course then you're still risking your regular gear. I don't know. I don't know who this update is geared towards, as I haven't really been into the PKing scene in I don't know, maybe let's just say 11 to 14 years. It's hard for me to pinpoint exactly when I stopped being involved in PvP, but I think the majority of it ended when 3-turn combat ended. That was my kind of time where I was like, nope, I'm gonna only fight monsters now. And then I went from that to, nope, I'm just gonna train skills now. I'm fearing for what might be next. I'm just becoming less and less involved in the combat side of things in this game, which makes me sad. And this for sure is not going to bring someone like me back to combat. Although there are some plans in 2017 that do interest me as far as combat goes, so it's not impossible to get someone like myself back into combat, but it's just this certainly isn't going to be it. But I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of the PvPers' responses to this, especially mainly I'm just looking forward to the sarcastic posts of the Wilderness Guardians, his lordship. I'm really looking forward to his video to see how he tears this apart and how it's never good enough. No PvP update is ever good enough for him, and he always seems to have different ideas, and I'm always curious to see what they are. It doesn't seem like Jagex has taken a lot of his rantings to heart, which I don't know if that's for the better or worse, but anyway, we'll find out on November 14th. Go ahead.
The only problem is that I don't think there are many PvPers left anymore.
Well, they're either in old school RuneScape where they've moved on to another game, right?
Exactly, and they're not like the old schoolers aren't going to come back because bounty hunters suddenly come into RS3.
Yeah.
So it's most likely going to be dead or filled with people who aren't good at it.
Pretty much. I mean, that's kind of I foresee this being popular on day one as a curiosity, and then I think it will fade into nothingness probably within a week or a month. Which is unfortunate, but hey, was it worth the try? Was it worth the time of development to see if this had a chance at reviving the community? What do you think? Was this wasted development time or a worthy attempt?
I think with all the other updates, it's a bit too late to revive PvP.
So you think it was a waste of development time then to even try?
I don't know. It's worth a try. If it doesn't work, that's it. Stop it.
Fair enough.
No
Yeah,
more.
if it doesn't work after this, I think it's time to just lay it. And Jagex, one of the higher ups actually pretty much said that, like, if this doesn't work, then we might as well just reconsider PvP in 2016. As far as like, is RuneScape a place for PvP? And I think that might be a smarter way to go. Go ahead.
The sad thing is that PvP would probably still be alive if they hadn't killed the wilderness and everything beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that now PvP, there's so much to learn to become good at it.
Yeah.
But if
they made it way too complex for me, that's for sure.
Yeah, if PvP was still a thing throughout all of the updates, tier 90s, everything, then at least there's a slow flow of things to learn. Whereas now it's massive.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost why, like, if I am going into a PvP situation, and call me whatever you want, but I will immediately turn on Legacy mode for combat, because that's a level of combat I can get behind and understand. And yeah.
Yeah, I'd be exactly the same, and I'm decent at combat, at least versus monsters, but I can't do PvP.
So Zenel, I just realized Zenel posted my Overwatch stats. I have 32 hours in game with Lucio and 4 hours with Diva, 3 hours Mercy, 3 hours Reaper, and 2 hours Soldier. I'm kind of heavily skewed towards Lucio. Anyway, sorry to derail there. But yeah, I don't foresee, like, even getting into PVM, and I know Storm, you're a pretty big PVMer. I don't want to have to learn all these fancy things that are just... Fancy's not even the right word for them. It's just trying to remember all of the different mechanics all at once when there is a game tick in play, and I have to kind of compensate for non-real time. It really throws me off and just makes... I get into this, like, uncanny valley of existence that just... I can't get behind. It bothers me, and I feel weird when I'm in combat in RuneScape. And it's just RuneScape for the most part. Like, combat feels fine in most other RPGs that I play, and obviously if you want to take it outside of the realm of RPGs, it's like, I have no problem in combat and other style of gameplay, real-time strategies, first-person shooters, not a problem. But RuneScape and their tick system literally just breaks my brain. Like, I'm sorry, it just does. I don't. And yeah.
You see, for me, I just basically ignore the tick system.
How? I wish I could do that.
Because the way I do the bosses is, let's say Vindicta, you start off just tanking it all, then you start first switching the second phase, then your resonance the first hit of the second phase, and you just slowly build it up until you're doing pretty much everything.
Yeah, I get like the whole layered aspect of like you learn it slowly over time and you keep adding more and more advanced tactics. It's just like I'm the guy who's gonna miss that resonance like 1 out of 3 times, and and just like I'm constantly gonna be tripping up. Like I don't know, I have a very hard time. Like I haven't been able to defeat Nomad hard mode because of the game tick, and I keep re-equipping my weapon mid-server refresh, causing me to take the damage despite the fact that the attack itself and the animation and sound effect have already ended. But for a freaking millisecond, I switch from my shield back to my weapon too soon, and it cancels the entire thing, and I'm dead. And it's things like that screw me over with RuneScape combat that I just can't seem to quite do. And it's just a timing thing for me. The fact that it's slightly offset from real time really just ruins my brain.
I will piss my sides if once you get Verizon and get better internet, suddenly you can do everything combat.
That would how great would that be? I mean, I play with probably an average of 90 to 150 ping. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's horrible. I mean, I play Overwatch with 90 ping. And
that's fairly horrible.
I mean, I win more games than I lose in Overwatch. I mean, I know 90 ping isn't great. Like, a good ping would be like 20 or 40. But I don't know. You really think like a 90 ping versus like a 20 ping would make all the difference for me in combat?
Yes, 90 ping is horrible.
We'll have to find out.
90 ping in like a shooter game is unplayable for me.
See, it's funny because like I have no problem playing with 90 ping in Overwatch. Like all my stats that you see here are all on like 90 plus ping. And I'm not amazing in Overwatch, that's for sure, but I'm pretty decent. Out of how many games have I played in total? So I've won 262 games, and I've played how many games have I actually played in total though? How do you figure that out? I don't know. But I know you can. I used to know how to determine that, where total matches played versus total matches won. But whatever. I've done a lot of healing, that's for sure. With the 600 millisecond tick, a 90 ping.
How do you check your ping on Runescape?
How do you check your ping? To bring up the developer.
I can't remember how to bring it up.
You hold on the Alt key and press the tilde key, then I'll bring up the development console. Environmental deaths. I love environmental deaths. That's my favorite thing in Overwatch. I really want to play Overwatch now, but I have to clean this room after I finish this show, so it's all set for tomorrow and when Verizon shows up to do their thing. But Zeno says with 600 millisecond tick, a 90 ping will give you 500 milliseconds to react. Not too bad. Press the button, and he's just explaining, what the tilde keys. Anyway, we have an article here from MMORPG.com bringing up a very valid concern. It's called, Can the Gaming Industry Support Another Big MMO? It's by Garrett Fuller. And I bring this up because keep in mind that RuneScape, Jagex company, they have a secret MMO in development, which we can probably say is more than likely RuneScape Remastered, from what we've kind of been able to tell. Just from the fact that they've been sneakily talking about that, and the fact that they won't talk about what the actual MMO is leads me to believe that that's the case, considering they have disclosed all of their other projects, such as Chronicle and Idle Adventures and things like that. So this secret MMO, my guess is that it's RuneScape Remastered for the mainly to appeal to the Eastern markets, and obviously to possibly upgrade some things for the Western markets as well, and is very well maybe a completely new fork to the RuneScape brand. It may be like a completely new game. We're unsure about that. But this brings up a real point. Can the gaming industry really support another giant MMO? Or any new MMO is pretty much bound to fail after a short lifetime of intrigue. by just the community. So let me go ahead and read this here real quick. It says, for anyone who follows games and the industry, you know there's a bit of a vacuum going on right now. In the early part of the 2000s, Xbox, PlayStation, and mobile, and even PC experienced the biggest rise in user base ever. Console titles sold millions, MMOs took over the PC market, and money came in from all sides to build bigger and better games. Here we are coming up on 2017, and this decade has seen a drop-off. New console launches have done well, and most game genres have motivated people to play mobile with huge success for a few companies, but where have MMOs landed on this timeline? Many of the current MMOs are seeing victory as they switch over to the console market. These games have been out for a while though and are maintaining a strong player base. The big question is, where are any new players coming from? Many people will point to VR as the next big advancement for any type of gameplay. However, this may not be the case, as games such as Roblox and Minecraft have seen massive success amongst younger players. Do they really need high-tech VR when these games are so simple? I don't think this is where the industry is going for MMOs, at least not anytime soon. Now, I really hope that he's not correct on that for the major MMOs like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, games like that. I really would like to see VR in those types of games, and we're even going to talk about VR and RuneScape a little bit later in the show here. Allow me to continue on. The question really is, what will drive the next 3 years in MMO development? You have very strong independent projects coming out, with Crowfall leading the way. With its sandbox worlds, it combines the best in MMOs, RPGs, and survival game genres. It has a purpose and gives players a solid mix of PvP and PvE to grow and build their characters within. We will see companies invest in this type of game if Crowfall is a success. The other area to look at is how strong the RPG genre was just last year. In 2015, the top games were The Witcher 4 and Fallout 4. The Witcher and Fallout 4. Both of these were heavily individual RPG experiences that players could take months to finish. If these RPG games are making very strong sales, how many more companies are investing in this type of game experience? Roblox and massive success in one sentence? Humor right there. Yeah, right. I didn't even know Roblox had an MMO, I'm not gonna lie.
This is the first time I'm hearing about Roblox.
Me too. I'm starting to wonder if this article is sponsored by Roblox. Anyway, the real question we should be asking is, why aren't these games being primed for an MMO-style experience on the console like success seen with Destiny? The answer is that it seems like North American game companies do not want to invest in this style of game because they cost too much up front. The Witcher was made in Poland and have been a massive success for Project Red. Sadly, most of the public game companies in the US are not willing to take risks. They view the movie industry, with its endless sequels and revamps of old ideas, as the model on which you build video games, and I really wish everyone who thinks that would just die. It is why we have a new title every year of the same game for so many franchises. If anything, the growing success of independent games proves that players want good, strong gameplay, not flashy graphics and the same game over and over. I would point to Battlefront as an example. Despite selling well at the height of Star Wars fever last year, the game died in popularity afterwards. Sure, it supports a loyal fanbase, but the game was rushed to launch in time for the movie. It lost so many creative aspects that could have been included and were simply left out. EA also failed with fully supporting the game by only releasing a few DLCs, which did very little to build on the already solid platform. Right now, it feels like the industry has lost sight of the idea of selling 1 million copies of a game, and having a very loyal player base over 5 or 6 years makes you a solid money for a long period. You can support the development team and build on the game to have a strong following. Instead, game companies continue to swing for home run hits and miss out maintaining a loyal player base. 2 million in sales one time does not add up to the money spent in customization shops over a 5-year span. Obviously, speaking of microtransactions there. Executives need to change their way of thinking and how they define success. For now, the only people who suffer are the players that have to constantly look for something good to play. So there you go. So I don't know. For someone who's very immersed in the MMO community, I don't ever feel like there's a shortage of new MMOs coming out. My problem is it's all more of the same. I feel like we're finally getting to a point where we're past every MMO needs to be World of Warcraft, and now we're just getting to a point where we can actually try things again, try unique things again. Like, I feel like the reign of World of Warcrafts kind of initially, their mind control over developers has subsided slightly, which leaves me moderately hopeful for the next few years of MMO development. That being said, we obviously want to bring this back around to RuneScape and talk about, their secret MMO and Jagex's past history with MMOs. I mean, we have RuneScape, obviously, big success there, but beyond that, do they really have any other successful products? I mean, we have Chronicle, which is, mildly successful. We have Idle Adventures, which is stupidly successful, in my opinion. Like, there's like thousands of people every day playing Idle Adventures, but again, Idle Adventures takes a few minutes to play, whereas something like Chronicle is something that you need to master and learn, and can take weeks to master, and years to weeks to learn, years to master, if you will. And they only see a few hundred people playing every day. That's kind of on the level of what Battleborn is getting. Battleborn, also an amazing example of just trying to pump out more of the same and not being inspired and unique enough, I think, which is kind of causing them to fail. But I don't know, can RuneScape create another massive MMO and not cause themselves to go belly up? Storm, what are your thoughts on another MMO coming out of Jagex, and do you think this is a mistake or a positive thing on their behalf?
I think if anybody can do it at the moment, it's probably RuneScape. Jagex, sorry. At the moment, most of the newer MMOs, like say ESO that came out, the formula seems to be grind until endgame and then find a group and do bosses. That's all you do, and it's all combat. Whereas RuneScape is still one of the few that has a fully developed skill set that isn't all combat.
Yeah.
I say fully developed, ignoring mining and smithing and all that crap.
Ignoring the fact that we're undergoing an extreme overhaul of the skilling system, and combat is still technically not 100% balanced or complete. I don't think you can ever fully balance something, but people are still complaining about issues. I don't know. I feel like that's part of an MMO, though, is it the living, breathing nature of it constantly evolving and changing. What if RuneScape wasn't an MMO and we got EOC version 1.0 and that was life? Like we were just stuck with that forever. But because it's an ongoing project, we can start with something in a proto phase and evolve it over the few coming years. It's just a matter of, can RuneScape produce what they call a solid, good gameplay right out the gate? And then RuneScape is, I think, very good at maintaining a loyal user base. It's producing a solid product out of the gate that I think RuneScape has a major problem with. Because if your core foundations are shaky on launch, and you're an indie company or a lesser known company, basically if you're not Blizzard, you're going to have a hard time gaining hype, I think. What are your thoughts on that?
If they sort of develop it the way that Blizzard does, which I feel they sort of can do with the amount of money they have coming in from RuneScape, then they might be all right. I mean, Blizzard doesn't release products they're not happy with. There's no bits in Blizzard products that I can't remember the last game they released that was bad.
Yeah, I can't either. Everything that Blizzard seems to make is perfect in some way, shape, or form as far as, initially. I mean, obviously nothing is perfect. As Zenel's saying right here, WoW lost a game to a Bastion in Double Mercy. So balanced. Seriously, Blizzard, give us quick play without hero stacking. There are things that are obviously issues.
Yeah, but there are issues within every single shooter, and the fact that it's
course.
Is it their first shooter? It's the first shooter in recent memory, anyway.
I can't think of another
one of the best.
Yeah, I can't think of another FPS game that Blizzard has personally produced. But Blizzard was another company before they were Blizzard, so it's possible. I'm kind of blanking on the history of Blizzard at the moment, which is a shameful thing, but what can you do? So anyway, there you go. Can the game industry survive another big MMO? My personal final word on that is yes, if the initial launch is strong. We need to stop with this early access bullshit. We need to stop with these half-finished games and calling them early access or green light or whatever the fuck you want to call it. We need to stop doing that and call them what they are. This is like early. This is an early alpha game. You shouldn't have to pay for it. Yet, no. If you're gonna do anything like that, you got to label that properly. And if you are, if you truly care about the reputation of your game, maybe don't do that at all. I've been so turned off lately by early access games, and just there have been some great ones. Like I love RimWorld. That's been an early access since like 2012, for God's sakes. Like how long is it early access when it's been in early access for years? Like, is that still technically early access anymore? I don't know. Anyway, I got really nothing else to say about that. That's just my thoughts on it. If they can make it strong out the gate, I think they have no problem maintaining a strong, loyal user base once they've established their initial legacy, if you will. Once they've kind of proven their clout and their worth. But it's that initial proving of themselves that I think Jagex as a company is probably the weakest in, whereas Blizzard seems to absolutely shine in. So,
you see, I think it's not just initial clout. I think it has to be innovative and different to everything else.
Sure, absolutely.
If it's more of the same, just grind combat until you get to group bosses, then it's going to go the same way as anything else.
Yeah, no. Let me rephrase my words then, because I was trying to convey that point, but perhaps I didn't do so properly. Yes, I completely agree with that, because we can't have. Thank God that was my sippy cup. I just should have my arms cut off. I shouldn't be allowed to touch things at all. God damn it! I just dropped my tea.
We need to get you one of those backpacks at Bikers Ride.
You need to just strap me down and don't let me touch anything while I'm near a computer. But no, and also back to what I was originally saying there is, I agree. When I say like strong game mechanics and out the gate, they need to have something unique, new, fun, and, strong as far as what you do. Like, it can't be something that gets boring after a week of playing, like I say as I'm sitting here at Incandescent Energy. I've been here for what, 4 months, 5 months, literally doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm asking for a unique, diversified experience. Yes, I am. Am I actually having fun doing this? I wouldn't necessarily say the journey is as fun as the ending when it comes to grinding skills. The ending is really the fun part.
Then again, can you name another game where you've spent 3 months in one tiny little spot of it?
No, not at all. I have.
There you go. Innovative.
I mean, the fact that they have somehow brainwashed me into thinking this is acceptable to spend my time doing this is impressive. And that's why I love RuneScape. Because it can mess with my perception of reality. Anyway. So there's that. You can obviously form your own opinions. Believe it or not, Patreon does have a comment system. So feel free to leave comments there if you have a differing opinion on that. And of course, if you're watching this via YouTube, comment system's right there. What are you doing? Anyway, let's continue on here. We got a post by Distracting You who says, Authenticator not enough. They say, I tried logging onto my account today to complete the Halloween event as I had been busy with work and out of town, and found my password wasn't working. I immediately requested a new one and waited for the confirmation to change. I was worried because A, I know my password and I wasn't mistyping it, and B, I'm the only one with access to my account as I have the Authenticator app on my phone and I log in on my PC using the Runescape client. Well, I got onto my account and had an email from the 15th with a confirmation of the email change. Last time I had logged in was on the 2nd of this month. My heart dropped. Logged in and found myself in the G in Priftiness, where I did not log out, with a small lump of cash and what looks like items for the Grand Seed Pod lure. I am really curious what they managed to exploit, but I'm looking at this as a sign that it's time for me to put my RuneScape away again and focus on more important things coming up in my life. I just wanted to use this opportunity to remind you all to check your security settings and please keep it updated. No matter how safe you feel with your settings, please take a moment and update your information. Keep your security questions somewhere physically where only you know their location. So yes, as you can see here, they had Authenticator enabled, but their password was still managed to be changed. Storm, can you tell me what's wrong with this situation? Why was this person able to be hacked even though they had Authenticator enabled on their account? Can you point out what the workaround was here as to how they were able to obtain their freaking password? Or shall I?
Have security questions at all?
From what I can tell here, it appears as though they have Authenticator on their account, but they don't mention anything about having it on that email account where they had some suspicious emails from changing of passwords. Because remember, you can log into the website with no authentication, which means I can send a password request by logging into the website. Then I just need to find your email, and if you don't have two-factor on your email and you use the same password for RuneScape that I obviously already know because I logged into the website, well then now I can just change your password and remove authenticator if I really want to, which is, you know, the ultimate goal there. And yeah, that's the problem there. You gotta have two-factor everywhere.
Yep. I just lost my League of Legends account because of it.
Really? You're gone forever or what?
Oh, it got banned. I don't really care about it, but I looked at it and went, oh, time for me to update my security again.
Yeah, you know, that actually happened to me with Guild Wars 2. My arena net got hacked, but I had two-factor enabled, so they couldn't really do anything. But that, you know, I pretty much was like, oh, I played that game for one day, so I don't really care. But yeah, it can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone at all.
It's a shitty feeling when it happens as well.
You feel violated. At least I do. So,
well, it's just the fact that someone steals your account and then gets it banned. It's like, I wouldn't have even cared if you were stealing my account and playing properly. What are you doing to get it banned? Why?
Yeah, people are assholes, is the best I can say there. All right, so we're going to move into the microtransaction block of the show. So buckle up, put your helmets on, seatbelts tight and ready. We're going on a ride here. We got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. Yeah, 7 posts in regards to microtransactions in a row. So if you don't like talking about microtransactions, now is not a good time. This is not going to be a good like half an hour for you. I apologize. If you like it, then get ready. Oh, I just dumped so many memories on the ground. My familiar just ran out. That sucks. Anyway, this first one we're going to start with is an overview here of like someone from the outside looking in. This is by Stoicism43, and the title is Regarding MTX. And I'm going to quickly just bank here and get some more loving from my Nightmare Moose Buzz. I burned through Nightmare Moose Buzz. Damn freaking authentication code. I burned through Nightmare Moose Buzz like 20 a day. It's crazy.
I still don't get why you use your authenticator on your bank.
Because it makes me feel safer. Is it actually better? I don't know. But I mean, I think it is.
I prefer not to have it on my bank just purely because if on the random chance that someone does get my password and my phone and manages to log into my account, they still can't get in my bank.
That's like the complete opposite of why I have it on my account. Like completely. Like, this is so like if somebody has my password and my bank PIN, they can't get into my account. They still can't get into my bank.
But they can't. They could. It doesn't matter if they have your bank PIN, they can't get on your account.
If you have my phone, I'm gonna find you and murder you. Like, I have Find My Phone enabled on it. I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna track you down, and I'm gonna put a fucking knife in your chest.
Yeah, that's true enough, but on the off chance it does happen, they can get in your bank on the same day, whereas for mine, if on the off chance that happens, I've got 3 days to find the bitch.
I suppose, but I just feel like it's easier to obtain a bank PIN than an authenticator code. So, I feel like that's a harder route to go. That's my reasoning, at least. I think it's harder to get some access to someone's phone than it is to just rat them and watch them enter their PIN, and then I know your PIN. And he's just went full on Liam Neeson. Well, someone on Reddit thinks they have no will to live after realizing they spent 1,000 hours on RuneScape. 1,000 hours? I have like 10 times that. Yeah. Man, you're making me feel bad. The fact that you don't need auth to get into your RuneScape account on the website is I agree, that is a huge security issue. Anyway, let's get into microtransactions here, shall we? I just simply wanted to say, I played RuneScape 3 around the time that the squeal came out, and I still follow the game closely today, even though I'm mostly an old-school RuneScape player now, although I'm considering making a return to RuneScape 3 via an Iron Man. A lot of us pounded our chests and yelled at the top of our proverbial lungs about the incursion of microtransactions into RuneScape. We saw what it would lead to. Yet despite our warnings, despite our concerns and our fighting, people called us whiners, saying that microtransactions didn't give a big advantage or it wasn't a problem, that a large sect of players that sat complacent allowed Jagex more and more room to push and push, which is why RuneScape 3 is flooded with microtransactions today, which is why they felt as though they could get away with the Halloween event. Yep, it's been a long con. This past 6 years has all been building up to this Halloween event. Halloween events have been a long-standing tradition in RuneScape. All the items in the past have been awesome. The spider cape, the hourglass, the Halloween mask, the pumpkin hat, the skeleton suit, the scythe, and all the events. They're so cool. Awesome mini quests to go along with them as well. Now, I compare it to the Halloween event today. Everyone who was complacent in the past about microtransactions, this is your fault. You guys have to push Jagex as hard as you can as the consumer to not let this go any further, or it will. RuneScape years down the line will because like an RuneScape years down the line will because like an Asian MMO where you can buy XP boosts. I guarantee it. They're just going further and further with it to see you guys' breaking point. Yep, Jagex is not a company trying to make money. They're a psychological experiment to see when people will snap for microtransactions, just in case you were unaware of that. Don't let it happen. Push back. Don't be complacent, and don't talk down to the people who are ranting about this. Meaning, he's basically saying, don't shit-talk him. This isn't the spirit of RuneScape. The people complaining about this aren't just whiners. They have the best interest of the game at heart. I don't disagree with the fact that he thinks he has the best interests of the game at heart, but I think he's unfortunately misled to some degree here. And shame on Jagex. Shame on whatever fucking corporate boardroom spawned this travesty. This fucking joke of a Halloween event. The only people getting any treats are Jagex, who are being showered with your hard-earned money. And I think he's mistaking, again, the promotional Halloween event for the actual Halloween event, which had no microtransactions in it whatsoever. It was purely gameplay. Shitty gameplay, but gameplay nonetheless. Imagine if you were a kid, 13 years old, and playing RuneScape for the first time, which a lot of us were very young when we first played RuneScape. I'm sure you guys were there for at least one holiday event. Now imagine instead of that memory, you have this fucking travesty of an event, and since you're so young, you have no memory to buy keys, so you just get this stupid joke of a Halloween item they have for the people who won't grind. Jagex promised us they'd never add microtransactions, and yes, they changed owners since then, but as a player base, we should have pushed to keep them as much away as possible. We let this happen to us. Don't let it happen anymore. Make as many posts as you can, wherever you can. Email Jagex, post on Twitter and Facebook on the RuneScape pages, raging against this abuse of players. I know I sound like a raging nerd. Well, yeah. I guess I kind of am, because this game is my childhood, and I hate seeing it get ruined like this for some sort of cash cow. So there you go. There's the ranting lunacies of Stoicism 43. What's up, Storm?
Why do so many RuneScape players think we have a say? I dare you to write a letter to whatever TV company you want and say we don't want adverts and see what they say back.
I know, right? Dear Comcast, I know I don't actually pay for your services for cable television, but I'm getting advertisements from the account that I'm piggybacking off of and basically stealing your service. Could you not put ads in those? Thanks. Anyway, obviously, not going to have the whole microtransactions are a necessary evil discussion, because we've had it a million times, and I know Patreon supporters are smarter than that, so we're not going to go into that, but we're going to go down this rabbit hole here for this event, so bear with me here. We have another post. That was literally just to wet your whistle. We're going in hard and fast here, so stand by.
Oh, my whistle is very wet.
Oh, I am soaking. So moist. Zombie promotion problem by Ava Element, who says this promotion seems to highlight an overall problem with Jagex and their stance in dealing with players. Now, there is a lot to complain about with this promotion. You know it. From the sheer amount of time that not everyone can or are willing to devote to it, so they could get all the rewards from it. To how annoyingly tedious so many of the tasks are, but those are sadly what RuneScape is about now. Time-consuming, tedious tasks to achieve very little. If that's how you feel about the game, why are you playing it? If everything... Go ahead.
Isn't that the entire game?
I mean, isn't that yeah? I mean, isn't that any like RPG though? Is it's generally a bunch of tedious tasks to complete to achieve some menial piece of reward or whatever. Remember?
I've spent like hours upon hours at Runescape just to get a cape that is slightly better than one other I have.
Because that brings up a fairly good point here. He says, the real argument to be had is Jagex excuse MTX by saying it's necessary to produce high-quality content, but in the past 6 months, a lot of the large releases have been objectively low quality. That is subjective, first of all. I agree with you on some level, but I also disagree with you on another. I mean, I think the major game updates have been fine as far as the quality of said content went. There have been plenty of events that have had pretty shitty rewards. Like, it seems like they allocate no graphics design team. They give like a graphics budget of like $2 to like the in-game rewards, and then like a fucking like $10,000 budget to microtransactions. Obviously, I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass, but if you look at certain items where like the polygon count, for instance, the Iron Man, the new Iron Man outfit that you get for just being an Iron Man, has a polygon count reminiscent of something from the N64 era of gaming. And then you get something like the Spider outfit that costs like $50 on Solomon's General Store if you buy that Runecoin package, which has a polygon count of something that you'd expect out of a modern top-down RTS/RPG.
Just give me 1 sec. I need to find my tinfoil hat. Right, got it. Okay, I have a theory that all the graphical artists are working on RuneScape 4.
Ooh! I don't know where that sound came from, I apologize, but maybe there's actually nobody actually working on RuneScape 3 anymore, and these are just like pre-baked updates that have just been, roadmapped to be released, and actually the entire staff is actually working at PlayFusion. They're all actually androids, and whatnot.
Yeah, they just cut like 75% of the developers off like the actual game updates and put them onto RuneScape 4.
It's possible. The only people that are actually working on the game are like the 4 or 5 people you see on the live stream each week, and Q&A is really actually just the janitorial staff.
They don't even know what's going on with the actual game. They just get hedge notes.
Yeah, they're not even actual. Like, those people aren't even actually game developers. They're just like well-trained actors.
Just people pulled in off the street.
I mean, it's funny you say that because we've had similar theories in the past, and it was almost confirmed by, I think it was one of the mods on one of the recent QAs who was like, he said something along the lines of like, our version of QA, and everyone looked at him like don't give that away, that we don't actually have good QA, and he's like, well, you know what I mean, just like QA, like our QA team is what I meant to say, and I was like, conspiracy rekindled. QA team is actually just the janitorial staff. Anyway, I'll continue on with this article here. From updates like the aquarium that have massive unnecessary RNG to get some fish, and I'm with you there. It took me 5 hours to get the lava eel. That was not fun. To deck, eventually I was like, is this even real? Like, am I supposed, like, do I actually get the lava eel here? What's wrong with my life? To get some fish to decorate it, update came out when I was 95 fishing. I have 99 now and still not completed it thanks to RNG. So here's the real poster. He's angry about RNG. To all the tedious RNG requirements for the Master Quest Cape, which in turn give stats no better than a standard Quest Cape, to the Ark Uncharted Isles finite per day resources taking half an hour or so to harvest each one for no reason than to just slow you down, even though they are not regenerating until the game resets at midnight. I love the Ark, first of all. Let me just be transparent here. I think it's a great way to get a random set of things to skill on.
I love the Ark, but I do not like that it got put out instead of Invention Batch 2.
That's an interesting debate. Would you rather the Ark in all of its glory or Invention Batch 2?
Invention Batch 2.
I would have to take a serious sit down and think about that. If Invention Batch 2 included my automation machines, I'd probably be on board with you right there. I agree, Zeno.
Yeah,
if you get the Master Quest Cape for stats, you're a moron. Continue. Go ahead.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, why release something? They gave us all this grand plan for Invention, and we've not got it.
They're great at half releasing stuff, though. That's like Jagex's like new trademark, is like, we release half the content half the time.
I mean, the thing is, I'm only going to use the Ark for perhaps 5 more days until my divination is 99, and then I'm
Sure.
never going to go there again.
I mean, I'm pretty much I go there like maybe once or twice a week now because I've pretty much unlocked everything. There's a couple of things that I haven't unlocked from ports now. So I go back maybe once or twice a week just to continue my chime collecting here and there, but like I unlocked everything in pretty much the first week. But I'll be honest with you, I have only been to Uncharted Isles. I have never gone to any of the other Ark Isles yet, the actual named islands. And there's like 6 mini quests and a bunch of Castaway stuff that I have to do and for comp, and I've just been putting it off.
I've completed pretty much all the comp requirements for it, apart from the Crystal Tool Siphon. That's all I've not got.
That's a good one to have.
It's like with the plan they had for Invention, like
I was saving the quests, Siddle. Sorry, I'm saving the quests for a live stream. That's why they haven't been done yet. Go ahead.
It's like all the automation machines that they were talking about and how it was going to be linked into all skills. Like, can you imagine like genetically enhancing tree seeds?
Sure, that sounds awesome.
And there's so much they could have done with it. Instead, they just threw it away.
That would be a great elite skill. How great would that be? Like genetics, where you could like modify living things. Like your seeds, like you could like make GMO seeds and stuff. I want to be able to make GMO crops.
Well, they didn't even need a new skill. They could have just put it into Invention. One of those rooms in the Invention Guild could have been a genetic enhancement room, where you like alter tree seeds and fruit seeds and stuff. There's so much they could have added into it that they just tossed it off.
Such a shame. I mean, Invention. Well, that's one thing that's good about Invention is it's open-ended. At least, like, there's no finite end to it. They can pretty much add infinitum to it, and I really hope that they revisit Invention in 2017 and give us the stuff that they promised us. As a skiller, it infuriates me that 80% of everything in Invention, there's 120 levels, and 80% of it is combat. 10% of it is empty, and then 10% is for skillers. And it really feels like the skilling content is an afterthought.
The thing is, even if they fill it out slowly over time, like they seem to be doing, it's never going to feel good. Whereas it would have felt like, say they released what we've got now.
Well, now that I'm 120, it won't feel good because I got nothing to work towards.
Exactly. Say if they release what we've got now, all the augmented crystal and all of that, you would have felt a lot better about it being all released at once than it being released over time in dribs and drabs.
Indeed. Zenel says, Invention in 2 words, wasted potential. I agree. Let me continue on here. Yep, go ahead.
It's not like they're ignoring it. They are adding things over and over and over, but it still doesn't feel great.
And not the things that I want. Let's see. Beyond Jagex's attempt to make content seem more and more involved than content really is by making a tedious grind for the sake of grinding without any actual rewards for all the grind. Much like a teen girl with an AK. Why are we doing this? All right, I'm just going to skip over that one. At least till you...
It's an elite show. You're not allowed to.
Must I? Much like a teen girl with an A-cup chest, buying a D-cup bra and filling it with tissue paper and toilet paper to make them seem bigger than they really are. At least till you get a chance to get your hands on it and realize how little there actually is to it. I hate this person now.
I love that you actually said that.
No, this is about the giant golden. The clouds part as a choir of angels sing, and it slowly descends from on. Are we still talking about boobs? Descends on from high on the middle finger you guys give to anyone who isn't high enough level in this game. Alright, as far as level locked content goes, go fuck yourself, because level locked content breeds aspiration and desire to level up. So, fuck off.
Much like D-cup boobs.
I suppose. Level up this dick. Because if you even have the hope to get not only the outfit, but work towards the walk like a zombie animation, you need several quests, and a few of them are at the end of a long quest series and their requirements. And guess what? You can just brain stamp those ones. Someone should brain stamp this person so they can possibly produce a cognitive thought. As well as 95 fire making, 87 hunter, and 91 divination. Now all the requirements and tedious grind to get them would be perfectly okay. Oh god, do I wish it was over, but it's not. Because we already have plenty of pointless, tedious grind actions that are permanent in the game, like skill pets or boss pets, or killing every boss 500 times and getting all the boss pets so they can have a little title that does nothing and will inevitably be used as a sausage measuring stick against other players. I mean, isn't that what life is really about?
Isn't that what skill capes are all about?
Pretty
Isn't that
much.
what half of it is?
Pretty much. usually used to show how they are correct and someone else is wrong because they lack said title. I've never really run. You know what? If that's the kind of people you're hanging out with, well, that's your problem. Wish they hadn't batched invention. Judging by the current plans, anyone who has already 120 invention will gain absolutely nothing from the second batch. I mean, unless there's if there's good stuff in the batch that I can now create, I'm not going to count it as a loss. But the fact that I've already pretty much gotten to 120 without exciting things to unlock along the way was fairly disappointing. A newer low level. Yep.
What I don't like at the moment is I've spent like 300 mil upgrading my armors.
See, yeah, you missed the boom because like when Invention first came out, like I made so much money.
Oh no, I made money when Invention came out, but putting like Aftershock and stuff on my weapons cost a lot of money.
Oh yeah, did you got Aftershock? I haven't bothered yet.
Oh yeah, I've got pretty much.
What did you use to do
fighting?
What did you use to obtain Aftershock, if I may ask?
The anima
core
armor of Saros.
Okay, so you used.
I bought the chests and the legs twice, and
twice.
Level 10. Well, that's how much you need for all 3 tier 90s.
All 3, okay, gotcha. Because they each produce 4 components per, right? If you level it to 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you went the body way. All right, interesting. Where did you train? Because I'm gonna want to do Aftershock, and that's probably what I'm gonna do.
If you want it ridiculously fast without making any money, go to Aberdemons with Aggression Potion and Scythe. If you want money, go to Krill.
Yeah, I'll just kill Abbey Demons. So my next question, if I can now even remember it, fuck, I'm gonna forget. Oh, is that a perk you put on your weapon, or is that a perk you put on armor? Aftershock
is weapon.
Okay, it's a weapon perk. Can you put it on armor, or is it just like it's better on weapon?
No, you can only put it on weapon.
Okay.
Precise 5 and Aftershock 3 is what you want in your weapons.
Yeah, I have Precise 5 right now, and then I just have a blank spot. I really just want to get it on my Scythe and my Staff first, and then we'll talk from there, as I don't really use ranged as much as I used to. But I'll probably stick it on my bow as well eventually.
On your armor, you want Biting 3, Crackling 3.
I have Crackling 3 and Impatient right now, I think.
Yeah, those 2 you both need. Enhanced Devoted is pretty good as well.
Yeah,
and then Biting, obviously.
All right. Let me rail us back on to where on topic here. Well, I gotta do more combat, man. I need to. Oh my goodness, someone's motorcycling. Anyway, let's finish.
That was the sound of the derail.
Yeah, that was the sound of us clicking back onto the rails. A new or low-level player can see boss pets or titles or whatever you have, say I want that one day, and work towards it, and immersing themselves in the grind for level to get the content, then the grind of content to get their desired rewards. But it only lasts between October 27th and the 31st. This is the biggest FU to anyone not in the lower 90s in skill since the ARC was released. Okay, when they had a community-wide event for all players to participate in, which after it was finished and the ARC was released, all the players of every level rushed to it to see the wonderful new area, only to get told to go F themselves if they have sub-90 stats. Again, I don't see the problem with level walling things. I think that's a good thing. It gives you aspirations, something to obtain. Why do you want to be handed everything and the second you walk into the game? That's no fun. You know, that would be like me having, like, a party hat set, a Halloween mask set, all the tradable rares that are discontinued, and I come back to the game, I sell them all for trillions of gold, and then I'm just like, alright, well, I can literally do anything I want. I'm a god, money-wise. Like, it just ruins the game. And even
I wish I had a party hat set.
I mean, listen, I had a party hat set at one point in my life, and I'll tell you what. There's parts of me that almost feel like when I was hacked and it was taken from me, that they almost did me a favor, because I don't know if I would still be playing today if I had that level of wealth. I think I would have gotten bored of the game if I had billions and billions and billions of gold. I know that sounds stupid to say, but...
You wouldn't bitch too much about skills not making money.
No, I wouldn't. I'd probably be on the combat side of things with all... I'd be the kind of player, I'd be like a Chube. I'd be the person who's like super rich, has all the maxed out gear, sucks at combat, but gets carried because of like, I just have overpowered everything. It's the kind of player that I would be if I had that kind of money. I'd just be like, it doesn't matter. I just have like $1 billion weapon. I'd have fully augmented tier 92s and stuff like that. Just stupid crap. And I don't. It's just like, I don't want to do that to the game. I feel like eventually I will have the ability to be better at combat. Maybe even reducing my ping to like 20 will drastically improve my combat. I don't know. We'll find out.
You need to start coming to God Wars 2 with me.
I will. I love God Wars 2. I love duoing God Wars 2. I just, unfortunately, we were, you invited me and I had to decline last night because I was installing a new podcast feed, which hopefully will be used next week. Wink, wink. For those of you who are interested in perhaps more old school things. That's all I'm going to say right now on the record. Just because announcing things tends to ruin them. Anyway, even then, the players who met the bare minimum requirements to participate in the most basic part of the arc on the named islands. This is pretty much, you know what, I feel like if we had Harley on today, she would have some level of agreement with this person, because she was like, the arc is useless because I'm sub 90 in like all of these skills. And my opinion to that is still, just get the levels. Eventually, this content will be good for you. It may not be good for you now, but it will be eventually. Why not look forward to it? There's still things at max everything that I look forward to, because I've personally walled myself from things like finishing the last. I have one freaking quest and I just haven't done it. Just things like that. There's just a never-ending list of challenges, and that's why I love RuneScape. Is the never-ending list of challenges. You should embrace that instead of looking at it as an impassable barrier. Doing all the activities that only need like level 90 to 93 in skills if you want to bundle bamboo is a good way to learn some initial chimes to start unlocking stuff, or do the mini quests you need to get 96 fleshing. Complete out of line with everything else because F you, that is why. Alright, I don't understand where they're coming from there. That's, again, maybe I'm just blind because I'm maxed and I don't see the world that way anymore. I'm sure some people would call me out on that. It is becoming increasingly evident that unless you are at a higher tier of the end game spectrum, Jagex doesn't give a goblin's fart about the player. Even during the mining and smithing devlog, this is painfully obvious. Outright commenting on how so many people are already 99 in those skills that the major focus of the update should be on them, which is stupid beyond all reason. Anything beyond 99 is optional because it doesn't give you anything else. The update is for players of all levels, not just the post-99 players that willingly and optionally want to go to 120 and 200 mil, even though it doesn't actually offer you anything for it. It is like the newer lower level players are Meg, and Jagex is Peter from Family Guy. Constantly, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we putting a Family Guy reference in here? Constantly grabbing them by the head and forcing their face into their bottoms and letting rip a loud wet one in their face. And then seems to wonder why new players are far and few between.
I don't know whether to hate this guy or love this guy.
I like the first response here. He says, do you want me to use a bunch of golden crackers on you to help you finish your aquarium? I know. I mean, I'm there. I do that for people too. Although I have so many golden crackers from 120 fishing that I could probably do that too. Complaining about the arc being level walled is like complaining about Prifdinus being quest walled or Yanil being membership walled. What's next? Max Cape level walled? I know. I don't have the Max Cape. I don't want to be 99 and have the Max Cape. What do you mean I gotta be a completion? I gotta complete everything before I can get the comp kit. Go fuck yourself. Alright.
The only valid argument is, why do I have to complete 4,000 Castle Wars games?
That is very true. And I mean, the fact, like, listen, I have hope. I have hope purely because they have now nerfed, or they're going to nerf the requirements for Livid Farm, which gives me hope that someday we will nerf that as well.
You see, the thing is, I've completed a load of the trim requirements already, but it's like the people who bitch because they're lowering the requirements, I do not get it. I've done Livid Farm, but I don't care that it's getting nerfed. Save people the pain.
Exactly. Even if I had have already done it, I would have no problem. Like, if they went and have the requirements for something that was egregious in the game that I had already done, I'd be like, all right, cool. I did it, and I'll brag about it. Be like, oh, back in the day, I had, how many, like, even just the fact that I played RuneScape Classic, does that mean I should be entitled to like free shit because I had to go through the game when it was, like really hard to play? No, shit changes.
The thing that annoys me is that it's a comp requirement that takes longer than maxing 3 times.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. That needs to change. That absolutely needs to change. I 100% go for trim if it wasn't for Castle Wars. Yeah, I agree, Zettel. I mean, I'm gonna go for trimmed either way someday. I mean, I gotta get regular first, which is, year 2017, year of the comp for me. I'm saying it. I'm saying it this time. I said it back in 2010. I'm gonna say it again in 2016.
I swear I'm gonna beat you to it.
Listen, are you maxed yet?
No, I've got 6
You're
skills,
not.
but they're all,
You're not
they're all
maxed,
like
but
98.
you've done like all the other like all like the hard requirements, right?
One sec.
If
I am missing 2 quests, the Annihilator title, and the Implings.
That's it.
Other than, like, obviously, the combination potions. Other than the thingies.
I did
the
live in
skills
the
I've
to
got.
see it nerfed. Yeah, me too. All right. Well, if you just decided to power level your skills, you would probably beat me, because I have way more comp requirements than you do. I have, let's see here, Dungeoneering, 1 quest, Livid Farm, Fight Kiln, bunch of post quest stuff. Got to go back to Ubisk and bury the priests apparently. To learn the secret of Tarn Razor lore, laid Clarence to rest and do that apparently. Have to hunt Thassalus 10 times after the Deadliest Catch. Completed
That
all
was
the
annoying as hell.
unabridged Fremnik sagas. I have 2 of those to complete. I must have claimed a reward from Klaus after helping him in Cornelius Rising. Apparently, I forgot to do that. You must have completed What's Mine Is Yours and unlocked all of Doric's tasks. Oh, yeah. Bunch of task sets that I could probably do like 1 a day in. Bunch of titles from like I have probably about if I don't look at the Livid Farm rewards, because those are all 1 requirement basically, I probably have about 15 to 20 things to check off, all requiring probably about anywhere between 1 and 10 hours each, not counting Livid Farms. I mean, I have a full like 6 months worth of shit lined up. Good.
Can I be there when you try and kill Telos?
Sure. I'm gonna live stream that shit. I can't even kill Nomad. It's gonna be interesting to kill Telos. I'm not sure I'm gonna pull that off. I heard he's not too bad at 0 in rage, but we'll see. I have an issue with Rax at 0 in rage, so we'll see.
Yeah, you still got a leg on the first kill.
I did, yeah. That was the game's way of saying, here, mage, you just take this and don't come back.
Just take this thing that is worth 30 mil if only you carry on.
Yo, that's the thing, is like, yeah, I mean, it may have been the other was like, listen, if you actually follow through and complete this thing, you make some money. And I'm like, nah, I don't like making money. Speaking of making money, do I have any, is this aura good to go? No? Yeah, no. Okay, let me continue on here with another post. More microtransaction bullshit. This one's by ISO Decoder. Zombie Bite is a huge mistake. And they preface this by saying, this is not a rant about Zombie Bite being annoying, nor is this a rant about the event itself being a grind. So this is apparently not the issue here. They have another problem. While the concept of spreading viral afflictions throughout RuneScape may sound appealing for many players who want to have a simple laugh, in essence, the idea was terrible in execution. Here's why. As many have stated on the forums, for those of us who have either no interest in the outfit, unable to obtain the outfit due to the inadequate income or time for this promotion, or simply do not enjoy getting infected with zombie viruses, this biting mechanic intrudes on our gameplay. Solution? You simply allow players to have an option to prevent them from biting them. Do we have it? Yes, indeed. Go to the game settings, aid settings, turn off miscellaneous aid. That's right, you don't even need to turn off all the other assist options. Problem solved? Not at all. Refer to the next problem. Due to the solution Jagex offered us in Problem 1, players now have another problem. Considering this event is practically infeasible without the purchase of keys, especially to low levels, or those who have not completed the prerequisite quest before this limited time promotion, the outfit will be costly either in terms of real money or in-game currency. Now, if the outfit has no special effects, it would not be worth the time and or money at all. However, the biting effect is nowhere near worth compensating for the major increase in difficulty in completing this card over the other cards of previous promotions, thanks to the solution to Problem 1. The result is those who did not read the announcement of a month before the zombie outfit release will feel cheated for buying the outfit, or for those who did read, they won't bother with the outfit at all. As for those who feel their money or time was worth the outfit and its redundant bite effects, good for them. Now Jagex is in a pinch. The solution to problem 2 would be, of course, to remove the option of all players to be immune to the virus. But then all those threads debating that the biting is annoying will have a very strong cause and credibility. Leaving the update as is, however, will make players who invested time, effort, and money into the update feel peeved and cheated that they could not spread a zombie virus outbreak effectively while spurning away potential buyers from investing in the cosmetic. My advice, therefore, is next time you add an effect that could be detrimental to other people's gameplay, Jagex, that you do not place all your bets on that effect is worth considerable time, effort, and or money. I'd also like to point out that you can't bite people after the promotion ends. You can keep the shambling effect for yourself, but you can no longer bite people. So, with that being said, I don't know if this person's argument is even valid anymore after that. I don't find this to be overly annoying. You turn off aid for miscellaneous. You don't have to get bit during the event. The event ends in like a week or so, not even. It's like the actual, to get this outfit is ending in 31 hours. So this outfit basically ends the end of the weekend. I don't know how much longer you could bite people for. I don't know if they're going to continue letting you bite people till the end of the actual Halloween event, which is like the first week of November, or what. But after that, you yourself can keep your shambling walk animation, but you cannot bite people anymore. Storm, is this annoying to you? Do you think that they poorly executed this, or is this person just making something out of nothing?
I turned off Accept Aid as soon as it got live, so I've not even noticed it, if I'm completely honest.
Exactly. How is Accept exactly? So how is Accept Aid not a solution to your problem? Is what I want to know to that poster there. But I agree. I mean, I like it. I don't mind it. Being bit, go ahead, bite me. Bite me as hard as you want.
It doesn't actually do anything to you, though, does it? It doesn't stop you skilling or anything like that. It just makes you walk funny.
Yeah, no. It just makes you walk funny, and you go, zombie. No. I was sitting at the Max Guild. I think it was last night, just re-upping, going to do a farming run or something, and I'm sitting there, and let's just say it's fairly late at night, and I'm a little loopy, and I just hear the zombie go, and then like half a second after, you just hear, like the entire Max Guild just makes like this groaning noise. Like it was just the effect of all the zombies moaning at once to me for some reason was fucking hilarious. I was just like, everyone's a zombie and it's funny. And then I went back to divination. End of story. Cool story? Cool story. Yeah, it was a full Max Guild. Everyone was just like, it was great. It was funny to look at because everyone just got their heads slunked over and they're all just like, Arr. Actually, if you go and look at my avatar picture, from Rune Metrics, I took a picture of myself with the zombie walk enabled, so now I just look like my character has had a stroke in his full character picture. Forum, unfortunately, it doesn't carry over to your forum picture, which I thought was kind of sad, as I wanted to have my guy just looking as derpy as possible when I posted, but oh well. Nothing's perfect, I suppose. Anyway, we'll continue on. More microtransaction bullshit to talk about here. Skull Inky is the poster here. This post is called Unreasonable, and it has been locked by a forum moderator. It says, is it really so much to ask or even consider just 2 treasure hunter events a year that can be completed in-game without losing mass amounts of time? I know the moment I saw this lackluster, and by the way, I'm replacing a lot of these words here. This is very poorly written. And the moment I saw the lackluster Halloween event rewards that treasure hunter would have the best stuff, as he's saying here, the second he saw the regular Halloween rewards, he knew treasure hunter was going to be where the actual rewards were. This is so disgusting for the company to do this. It is no secret event rewards have never been great since treasure hunter was released, but this takes the blatant piss. Shame on you, Jagex. I'll just wait a couple of years before you start selling on Solomon's or something. This is why I keep going back to old school. Honestly, I want them to sell this stuff on Solomon's instead of putting it on fucking treasure hunter. You haven't actually had a chance to get your say on that, have you, Storm? Would you rather them have a treasure hunter as is, or put these cosmetics and items in Solomon's general store where you can pay a flat price for them and not have to gamble?
I don't care.
Good answer.
They could be either way, shape, or form. I'm not the type of person to go for them either way, shape.
You're right in the same boat as Pernasius. Then you could give 0 fucks. Okay, fair enough.
I am sort of hoping that they take microtransactions to old school so they can stop being elitist.
I would love that. I'm sorry, old school Runescape, and I don't actually mean like this. The portion of me that wants to watch the world burn would love that so much. But
yeah, I'm saying just because they've been taking the mick out of it for us for so long, I'd love it to happen to them, and 10 times worse.
I mean, Can you imagine? Oh, and then it's like their graphics are already subpar, right? So then they have to subpar their subpar graphics to make the regular graphics, items only available via Treasure Hunter. Oh yes. No, but
what I'd hope is that all of the outfits that we have here are in the full resolution. So they got all the microtransaction outfits and stuff.
It's all low poly.
They're all on RuneScape 3 graphics.
Oh, that would be funny. That would be really funny if, and I know it's not possible, but that would be hilarious if, like, you could unlock RuneScape 3 graphics in old school by just paying copious amounts of money. That would be really funny. Not that I want to see RuneScape burn die. This is all just, theoretical poking fun at, what could happen. Anyway, to the forum mod, that player was a blatant troll. It was very obvious. Yet you call me out and not him. Maybe you should understand what a troll is before going after the op. Also, there are many threads in the forum that don't belong here. I guess he's just yelling at the moderator now. He recreated this thread, apparently, and the mod locked it, and now he's poo-pooing. So there you go. I don't know. I don't know. Is this unreasonable? I think unreasonable is a strong word. I would say it's an unfortunate trend. Good.
If it's unreasonable, don't spend money.
Exactly. And that's the basic argument, is just don't buy into it. But again, if you use your daily keys, or if you don't buy into this one, but you buy into one 8 months down the road or something, you're not helping your own situation. Like, you can't claim that this is ridiculous and then use your daily keys, or I don't do any of the promos except for Prismania or something. No, you're either for it or you're against it. If you use it at all, you're technically for it. And I wish Harley was here because she would argue that point is false to the end of the earth.
I don't know, because at the end of the day, if you just go for the promotions you like, you can be against unreasonable ones, but
I understand where you're coming from.
You can go for it.
I understand where you're coming from, and I guess in some level it provides a level of feedback to Jagex where they say, okay, well, this promotion was very successful, this promotion was less successful. But if you are vehemently against a system to the point where you're saying this should be removed from the game, if you're at that level where you say Treasure Hunter should be removed completely from the game, if you then participate in Treasure Hunter at any level, you are a hypocrite as far as I am concerned.
If you're saying Treasure Hunter should be removed from the game, but if you're complaining about the event, I think it's fine.
You can complain about the event, fine. This person wants Treasure Hunter to be removed from the game. This is why I play old school, because you Treasure Hunter and promote. Well, then stick to old school. Stop complaining. Go away. We don't need you in our community. Thank you. Anyway, we got a picture. I'm trying to reveal this picture. These never freaking work. Anyway, I don't need to. I've already seen it. I like how the freaking click to reveal works sometimes. So this post is called Yet Another Walk Like a Zombie thread by King Peter. Now, this is not what you'd expect here. So he says, I just completed the fifth prestige without buying any keys. Admittedly, I did use my daily keys and about 10 saved/earned keys for a few extra stickers. This event was the most fun I've had in RuneScape for quite a while. It got me to replay some old content that I would never have done otherwise, and the pressure of it being limited time event made it a nice challenge. The cash bags provided an ample compensation for money spent on the task, and even made quite a bit of profit. Not as much as when I had spent the time actively trying to make money in a skill, but still. To all the people calling this a massive grindfest, y'all youngins are spoiled by the ease of RuneScape 3. Getting 30 cooking in RuneScape Classic was grindier than this whole event. It took me about 2 days to complete the 5 prestiges out of 5 days possible, so it's entirely feasible to do this in the allotted time, even if you have a job. I won't deny. I like how that's like, even if you have a job, like most RuneScape players don't have jobs. I won't deny that there are some problems with the event. The Shadow Core task is one you basically have to skip unless you have them banked already, because even getting 50 Shadow Cores once would take most of the day. The event is especially hard to Iron Man. You can only skip 2 tasks, and you can't buy supplies from the GE. That's especially nasty for the Tortured Souls task. Chopping 100 Elder Logs, killing 100 Enemu, and making 100 vials of Sacred Oil is extremely tedious. Less crucially, some of the regular tasks did start to feel a bit grindy on the last few runs, reducing the amounts of some things. Maybe 1/3 or so would be nice for the next event, but still, in RuneScape Classic and early RuneScape 2, basically the whole game was like that, so I don't mind it that much. In conclusion, I'm an old fart. No. In conclusion, this was a nice event. I had fun, and I think that people crying bloody murder over it are making mountains out of molehills. So, I agree. And again, this is because I come from the RuneScape Classic era. And those types of grinds, if the rewards are good enough, are fine. I personally opted out of this event not because it was impossible to do without keys or whatnot. I opted out purely because the reward to me was not worth it for the amount of time that I would spend in doing it. I think this event was perfectly well balanced as far as the amount of time it would take, as far as if you didn't want to spend money on it. If you want to spend money on it, fine, whatever. But I feel as though if you didn't want to spend money on it, you could completely get away with that, especially in 5 days' time. What are your thoughts on that story?
I just couldn't be bothered. I'm never bothered with these card things. I don't think I've completed a single one.
I don't think I have either, to be honest with you.
I mean,
it's too much stuff.
You might get a decent cosmetic, but I don't really care how my character looks. I think I'm running around looking like a scientist at the moment.
Don't worry, Zenel. In 2020, RuneScape Weekly will buy Jagex once their stock price drops to a penny. It's going to happen. I've foreseen it. Anyway, suggestions for next time. This is by Crying Hawk, who says, I'm referring to the zombie event, as well as past events like this, the road trip or the ninja ones. 1, make each slot have a standalone tier, so if, for example, you need 25 laps of the werewolves agility course, you can do 125 for the full 5 tiers. This would keep the overall goal while streamlining the process, meaning instead of having to go back 5 times, do all 125 laps and it then carries over per prestige. Although that makes it significantly easier, I think the problem is it makes it significantly easier, and it's not meant to be significantly easier. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I'm sorry, I missed that. I was opening tabs.
No problem. I'll just continue on. Avoid crowding. What?
Try co-hosting here.
It happens. There are plenty of times when I do that to DX, and I'm just like, oh, yes, and I have no idea what he said. Avoid crowding. This is something I see many people rant about. We need to kill this many of that thing, but it will be so crowded. Yeah, it will be. I like that the Slayer task is not limited to one monster, but rather a group of monsters, but it will most likely still result in many unhappy players, as well as interrupt those who just want to train the spots used for the event. I think that crowding is a fine thing. There are plenty of worlds. Find a world. As Pern said, when he was doing that, he found a world no problem in under a minute, just world hopping. Found a world, did it, had no problems. Stop whining. There's like a bajillion worlds. You'll find one. Number 3, set reasonable goals. 500 tortured souls to burn is a bit much, don't you think? Levels aside, the cost for the logs, oil, and souls combined is a small fortune. It might actually be worth more to buy bonds for the keys. This should not be the case. I can't speak to that because I don't know how much this quote-unquote small fortune is. I mean, if it's like 2 million gold, if you're calling 2 million gold a small fortune, you can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. If you're talking about like 20, 30 million gold, fair enough. That, again, I'd rather just buy bonds at that point as well. But I didn't do the event, so I'm not 100% sure what this is. I could look it up real quick, but not gonna. And the Storm, if you want to look up what the combination cost of tortured souls plus the oil is, that'd be kind of cool. I have no idea.
Anyways.
Let me go into number 4 here while you do that. Take into account the rarity of the item drops. 250 Manifest Shadow Cores does not sound remotely plausible to achieve, and it is another common rant I have seen one too many times. I agree with this to some extent. Yeah, that's a pretty shitty grind. However, I think those types of items are thrown in there specifically so it'll bait you into using your brain stamp for that. Like, they want you to see, like, oh, this is ridiculous. Like, this would take me all day. I'm definitely using a brain stamp on that. I think that was kind of the overall goal, if you will. I can't prove that, but that's where I think it's coming from. Do I think they should avoid that in the future? I don't know. I think you should have some tasks on there that seem ludicrously impossible, as long as it's not more than the amount of tasks you can skip per time. Like, for instance, you get 2 free brain tickets a day from Zrick. I would be fine with 2 of the tickets per prestige basically being ridiculously difficult, just so, yeah, you can still do it if you're an Iron Man and skip them, but it might take you the full 5 days at that point, because now you can only skip 2 a day. And then Treasure Hunter alone will then let you skip maybe other ones that are less egregious. So again, I only see a partial problem with that if you think about it correctly.
About 7.5 mil for all of it, I think.
Yeah, see, that's a little expensive. I mean, that's
plus, don't you have to cut Elder Logs for one of the tasks anyway? So you have the Elder Logs anyway. You just have to buy the oil.
Don't know. Anyway, So I don't know. I feel like his suggestions are not going to impact much of anything. They're maybe make it a little bit easier. If anything, they might make it too easy. But there you go. We're closing in on the end of our microtransaction block finally. This is just one final one here that says personal opinion. Being greeted by banners like the pop-ups that you get when you log in makes me regret even logging in, says RSO. Why do we need it? Keep Treasure Hunter around if we have to, but as a member, I expect there to not be any ads. So do you get flustered or frustrated at all when you log in and there's a freaking pop-up on your screen for a Treasure Hunter or talking about the Ark or anything like that? Does that bother you? Or do you just kind of mindlessly close it and move on with your life?
Mindlessly close it every time.
Yeah, like, it doesn't bother me.
I don't even think I read them half the time. It's just instantly closed.
Me either. My hand is trained. If something is in my way and it's a pop-up, my hand is just trained from 20 years of being on the internet to just instantly close that. Find the red X. My brain is programmed to find the red X and close it. And that's that. So I understand the frustration for something like that, but for me it just doesn't bother me. But
yeah, it doesn't even make me think. Like, I think I got the pop-up for, like, get double keys or something.
I got that one as well. I almost bought them too.
Yeah. The only thing that made me think would be double bonds for your money.
Oh, if double bonds was a thing, I would be all over that. Anyway, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes to go, and then we are gonna wrap it up here. So this next one is by Chromags, who says, Jagex, represent at PAX East, and I am all for that. Because for the past 5 years, I have sported my faded RuneScape t-shirt at PAX East. I have gotten so many comments on the shirt and started so many conversations with people at the convention about how and why RuneScape has not made an appearance yet. At least not one that I've seen. People say it must be money holding you back, but heck, you're right across the pond and you hold your own RuneFest. I should just get to the point. I and thousands of us would love to see you here. It's one of the world's biggest gaming conventions with well over 50,000 gamers in attendance. A small booth or a panel with a couple of JMods would be more than satisfactory. All we wish is for our favorite gaming company to be represented, put on display, and shown off. Booths cost a lot of money, especially at PAX East. I don't foresee them ever doing that. It seems like a huge waste of money for them. I mean, they don't need the exposure. They have no new product to show. I feel like it would just be a giant money sink for some good PR, unfortunately.
I don't know about nothing new to show. They've only not got anything new to show because they don't do the Warcraft model of nothing for 6 months and then the expansion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They seem to be wanting to go into like a secretive kind of mode as far as future content goes. I don't know if you watched RuneFest or not, and you're just speaking of the expansions and whatnot, so I assume, yeah. It just seems as though they're less, and this is going to hurt the show, but it might be for the better of the game. Not for us, but definitely for the game. The fact that they're being a little more secretive about what's coming into the game. So I don't know if PAX would really be the best option for them. As much as I would love to see them, and I'm going to try to go to PAX this year. I missed buying a ticket, unfortunately. But if I can, scalp a ticket off of someone, I will.
Yeah, I don't know. If they were showing, like, it depends what they're trying to do. If they're trying to get older people back into the game who happen to be at PAX, or get people, newer players into the game, then they show what they've done in the last year rather than show what's coming up.
That would be cool. Yeah, if they're trying to just get new players in. I just feel like amongst all the other stuff at PAX, they might feel a little, I don't know. I guess there's plenty of indie developers at PAX. I don't know. Certainly, if I knew Jagex was going to be at PAX, it would have been a no-brainer for me to buy a ticket. Like, I hesitated to buy the ticket, which is why I don't have a ticket, as I hesitated for like 30 minutes thinking about it, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then they were sold out. So fuck me, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see them there. I just feel like it'd probably be a waste of money for them. Anyway, here's a question for you, Storm. This is from Jmant53, who says, so if you suddenly got an instant mass cash stack, what would you buy?
I'd just stab at it lovingly.
Just caress it. Just fill your play-your-own house aquarium with it and just swim in it. Like Scrooge McDuck.
I've already done all my Bible skills, so I can't even spend it on skills I don't like.
Oh, see, I'd be pushing stuff to one. I'd get 120 crafting, 120 smithing, 120 herb lore. Like I just go for all the Bible 120s. 120 prayer. I think honestly, you could only buy like 2 120s with that.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably. You can't even buy the tier 92s for that. I'd probably get biting, maybe.
Just put biting on everything.
Well, the tier 92s are still like 3 bill, aren't they?
Yes, they're impossible to obtain right now unless you are super rich or super lucky and you fight. I gotta go try Telos. I just gotta try it. I say these things, but it is like we gotta wait. We gotta buy 3 on flowers. That would be great. I'm waiting for my live stream capabilities to come back. I mean, hopefully on Monday, after Fios has been installed, I'm gonna be like streaming in like 3D 4K VR. Like just fucking off the charts. I don't know.
I keep telling myself I should go to Telos, but then if I do go to Telos, it's going to be not next year, the year after, before I end up maxing. Yeah. I can't get into a new boss now.
Oh, but you don't have to get into it. Just give it a try. You should come try it with me when I do the live stream for it. It'll be fun because you'll get it in like 3 attempts, and I'll be there 40 attempts later, just screaming at my computer and throwing things.
3 attempts? No faith. No faith.
You think you can do it on attempt number 1?
Possibly. I don't know.
I don't. I know, but myself, and I sure as hell can. Anyway, if I had an instant mass cack set, that's what I would do.
I think.
It took me about 5 to get racks down, and also I had somebody coaching me over Skype with
it was me and Dan.
Yeah, the first time, yeah, and then I had it done. I think Dan did it again for me, and then somebody else helped me the third time. I think it was Base. I think it was the guy that you go with. I could be wrong though, but I'm gonna have to be going to Yakamaru soon. People have been offering to take me to Yaka, and I'm like, you really want to lose?
No, Yaka's actually really easy. Just take any stuns off your bar, and it's easy.
Yeah, I gotta go and do it because I gotta get the Reaper title, and I only have a couple of bosses left, and it's pretty basically it's Telos, Harakin, and which should be a cinch, and Yaka are the only ones that I have left that I can think of. Oh, and I gotta do a Legios, but that's fucking come on. It's really my own fault. Yeah.
Honestly, with Halloween's tank team, it's ridiculously easy.
Yeah. I'll have to. I gotta go to Virago again with them. As I managed the 1 kill. I felt like I was weighing everyone down. I felt bad, but I gotta try it again. If you're listening, Base Tank, I don't think Base Tank is a Patreon subscriber, but I can just PM him. Anyway, I don't know. You're making me want to do combat, which never ends well for me, Storm. Why are you doing this to me?
Because it's so much fun for me.
It's not fun for me, though. I want to go back to Next, too. Like, there's so many things that I want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing is everyone's like, it's like 9 o'clock at night, and everyone's like, want a PVM? And I'm like, it's 9 o'clock at night, trust me. I have the response. If you think RuneScape has a slow response time, my response time at 9 o'clock at night is like 3,000 milliseconds. Like, I'm just not going to be of any use. I don't have the...
Yeah, whenever you want to do Next, just chat to me. I still need a sigil. I still need to... Well, I just want to kill
I got to go to Barrows and get the first one, and then I got to go to Next. I should be grinding Barrows, trying to get the Defender from there, and then... Shut up, Mage Bit. Let's finish the show, shall we? We got 3 topics to go here. This one's by Igor Legend, and I'm going to try to read this in a Russian accent. It's not going to go well, and I apologize in advance. But this is very poorly written. His name's Igor.
If he's Igor, it's got to be spoken with a lisp.
Can you demonstrate so I can get an idea?
No.
All right, well, I'm going to do my best here, and it's not going to be good, so I apologize in advance. But Igor Legend says, through this post, come kindly ask for me help with another account of mine. She was banned permanently, but not for bots use or any derivatives, but by claiming it come changing hands constantly. Perhaps by changing the emails, but anyway, I have evidence that this act of you was a mistake. I understand is a whole research process, and almost always are not wrong, but I can prove I also know that where and when is permanently banned. Yet, if there is a method of to use, but even so, for years next to you, I thought you could help me. I devote much of my time to accounts, and that it was banned was one of them when it was banned. It was almost comp. And you, not to forget, the ban that you applied was manual. If you need to provide the nick to you, Anoviana. And then the Russian anthem would play if I had it. But I don't.
You sounded half leprechaun for the first bit.
I know, it took me a while to kind of get into it.
Through this post, daddy.
For Mother Russia! It didn't work. I told you it would be really bad at first. Sounds half leprechaun, half Russian. Yeah, I did my best. Alright, I'm done. Just impersonate Zarya. I'm going for the Tobelstein! That's the best I can do. Anyway. 2-day ban for botting. Oh, by the way, I like how I just completely like read that thread and then just moved along to the next one with no comment whatsoever. Just like, yeah, that just happened.
I was too busy laughing at you to pay attention to what you were saying.
I don't even know what I said. The point being here is this post makes absolutely no sense. They were banned, and I had to make a funny Russian. It was basically my excuse to do a bad Russian accent. I apologize to everyone listening. 2 more topics to go here. 2-day ban for botting? You had say Magebit. We see this shit all the time. Why are you throwing a generical 2-day ban botting post in here by 2 Smoker? Well, I'll tell you why. He says, a couple of days ago, I got a 2-day ban for botting, which I didn't do. Everyone's innocent. Also, had no evidence to supply. Yeah, no, they just don't want to show you the evidence so you can't cheat more in the future. He says, I'm just wondering, when do I get 2 days of extra membership? Because I never botted. So this person here, I think this might be a literal first. Someone got banned for botting and is now requesting free membership for their ban period. I don't think we've ever seen that one before. So I like that.
I don't know if I'm on their side or not.
What?
I don't know if I'm on their side or not.
Why would you be?
Because let's say my internet provider is doing upgrades. If they cut me off for 2 days, I want those 2 days back comped, thank you.
Sure, but you're paying for a service legitimately. This person cheated and now wants their time back because they were temp banned for cheating. They cheated. Why should they get their time back?
Yeah, but if I smash my car into the internet box, then they'd still fix it and I should still get comped.
But I mean, if you did that on purpose, you should not be comped. If you did it on accident, then yeah, you should still be comped. This person deliberately cheated. They purposely.
It might have been an accident. He seems like a sensible human being.
Yeah, definitely. This is like the type of person who comes in with a laptop they purchased from, your local laptop store, like 8 months later, and like it's a Black Friday special. They got it for Christmas, and they come in like July, and they're like, "This thing sucks. I want a new one." And you're like, "What?" It's like, "Well, I spent the last 8 months with it, and it runs like shit. I want a new one." It's like, "Well, then go buy a new one." No. Give me a new one. No, fuck you.
You should have seen the face of this guy when I bought this headset.
Why?
It was because it's a SteelSeries 350.
Yeah.
Which is £99.
About
$120.
Okay.
And it was price marked wrong. Now the law in this country is if it's price marked that, they have to sell it as that. So I got it for like half price.
Awesome.
The look on his face was just, oh shit.
Now what is this, just for people who are not up and up on their model numbers? You want to quickly talk about the 350 so people know what you're talking about?
Well, basically the SteelSeries comes in 3 different models. The 200, which is about 60 quid. The 350, which is
it might help if you tell people what the 350 is.
It's a headset.
Gotcha. There you go.
The only difference between the 350 and the 250 is it's better at the higher end of audio, and its mic is better. It
just has more. It has a more sensitive range, I would assume.
Yeah, exactly. But getting one for 45 quid is damn near impossible most of the time.
They're they're $120. They have open backs, which I'm not crazy about. Not as good as for noise canceling, but better for gaming. Yeah, they look pretty nice. Considering I paid like $250 for my headphones, and I'm not a huge fan of them. I'm never happy. I'm never happy with my headphones, though. Never.
I think the first headset I bought was probably the best one. It was a really shitty 20 quid one, and it lasted for about 4 years. The last 2 sets I've bought have both broken in less than a year.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm actually, and for those of you who don't remember, this is actually the 3rd pair of headphones that I've bought this year. This one seems to be lasting, but the other, and God, knock on particle board. But I've replaced this model twice before, through manufacturer's warranty, no fault of my own. Like I have protection on it via Geek Squad, but I've manufacturer comped it twice because of just defective cords. Anyway, when this headset does finally die, I'm going either SteelSeries or Razer. I'm done fucking around with headsets. Anyway, 2-day ban for botting. See you later. Next time, you'll get a permanent ban if you keep playing like that, being all entitled and shit. Finally, we have a topic from Stormsmith here. Not that you wrote this, but you found this one. It's by Hilditra. I'm not sure. It says, it's called Wildy Backpack Bomb, by the way. It says, I want a backpack bomb.
This one has to be in an Irish accent.
Why? That sounds mildly racist. Are we going into...
I don't know, just for hilarity.
I can try. I don't have a good Irish accent down very well, but I can certainly give it a try. I want a backpack bomb. This might be more Scottish than Irish. What do you think about that? I want a backpack bomb. I want a bomb in my backpack that has at least a 50-50 chance of igniting and killing my killer in the wilderness. May make of ordinary, but hard to obtain items available to the poor and low-leveled if they work hard for it. Perhaps like chalk ice. The ingredients cannot be transported, or... This is horrible, dude. I can't do it. At least not until they're put together into a bomb. Have it only go off when killed, even if worn by armorless players, only if dying player did not initiate combat, or stop putting content in the wilderness. Yeah, I can't do it. I'm digging the accent regardless of it neither being Irish nor Scottish, maybe Bulgarian, says Zenel. Yeah, I need, and I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is more so that I'm reading pre-written text than anything else. Like, the fact that I haven't had a chance to rehearse what's being said, I can't do it. I can't get the cadence right. I've just realized bomb post plus Irish. Yeah, that's exactly, that's exactly why I said this might be racist.
I apologize.
So, it's an elite show. I apologize if we've offended any Irish people. I didn't understand, especially you being from the UK and being so close to Ireland. I was like, does he know what he's doing? Is he not thinking of the fact that like this could be like construed as like an Irish terrorism type thing?
I didn't realize.
So there you go. Storm didn't know what he was doing, allegedly there, but I think if I lived in the UK long enough, or Australia or anything, I think I'd eventually adapt the accent. I'd eventually turn into one. Anyway.
You better hope you're not in the Northwest then.
What?
Better hope you're not in the Northwest then.
Why? Is that like a really difficult accent?
No, it's just very harsh half of the time.
Ah, gotcha. Anyway, that's all we got for today's show. It's a good show. Again, welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you back on the show. Hopefully we can do it again.
It's been a pleasure to be back.
If Sundays work for you, feel free to make this a regular thing. Anyway,
yeah, I'll give you a shout.
Sure, definitely. Definitely want to try to get Elite shows back onto Sundays, and if we can get a regular Sunday person, that would be great. It's been really difficult with my family situation going on lately to get free time on the weekend, and things are starting to kind of settle down, so that's a good thing, and that's why we were able to put the show together. And the second I found out you were free, I was like, yes, let's do this. Harley also said she'd be here, so thank you, Harley, for coming. Appreciate that as well. Oh wait, no, Harley's not here.
Kind of passive aggressive, mate.
Sorry. I told you last night, like, Pern will fall asleep and Harley won't show up, so it'll probably just be me and you. Was I right, or was I right?
Yeah, you were kind of right. I saw Pern's post at, like, 1:15, saying he was going to bed, and it's like, okay, please tell me Harley's going to be here. I don't like Mage being right.
I think it worked out very well either way. Anyway, glad to have you back. Hopefully we'll be doing some PMs. PMs, yeah, that's weird. Hopefully we'll be doing some PVM together. Maybe you can motivate me You've done it in the past, so I
will speak in a Russian accent for the entire duration of the PVM if you come. Is that motivating enough?
Maybe we'll do a Russian PVM stream next week once FiOS has been installed. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this edition of RuneScape Weekly Elite. Of course, you can find us on social media in the meantime. We got a Facebook page for you, facebook.com/RSWeekly. Got a Twitter account for you as well, @RSWeekly. Remember to like us on YouTube, follow us on iTunes, subscribe to us via the entire internet, all that fun stuff. We literally are becoming a sentient being across the web. We need your help. Join us in the struggle to become Skynet at runeweek.com, of course. I don't know what I'm talking about, by the way. I've lost it. We got an in-game clan chat for you, clan chat Kill, Skill, and Chill, where you can join us there. I'm just so over myself at this point. I'm just oh god, what is wrong with me? What time is it? It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's about right. That's about when my brain starts to fall apart. Anyway, we got a clan chat in game for you. Clan chat Kill, Skill, and Chill, or clan.runeweek.com. I think the clan competition should be coming to an end fairly shortly for the month of October, which means we got another skill competition coming up for November. People have suggested Dungeoneering, but I kind of wanted to make Dungeoneering December to kind of go in line with the fact that I said I'd get 120 Dungeoneering like a year and a half ago in December. Maybe we'll bring that back. As of right now, the farming competition, it has 7 hours remaining, so get it in if you want. If you're in the top, basically if you're in the top 3, you have a chance. If you are K Bunny 1981, For Honor, or Sora Heavy, you have a chance to win this competition. Everyone else can really, unfortunately, is probably out of the running unless you've been hiding something for farming for the entire event. But good luck and congratulations to Killer Bunny if he does win. He's pretty close to For Honor and who's in second. So again, next month is still undetermined. I might actually do Slayer next month and then Dungeoneering in December. But we'll have a talk about that. You can join us and have a say in it if you join the clan, Kill, Skill, and Chill, or pop over to discord.runeweek.com. Join us on Discord, of course, if you want to talk about things like that after the show is over. So again, a big special thanks to our top Patreon supporters, Molly RS, Swagatorix, Alex W, Danny H, Kevin H, Odin, Old Gunner, Hamster King, and Sudwood. Thank you so much for your ongoing patronage. This show is for you. Here's looking at you guys and everyone else who probably can't hear this because they're maybe too low of a patron to hear this, or maybe they're not. I don't know, but thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon, whether it's $1, a bajillion dollars. It means the world to me to be able to produce the show on a regular basis, and Patreon really makes that a possibility. So thank you so much for allowing us to do what we do. Anyways, we'll be back on Wednesday for the next edition of RuneScape Weekly, but keep an eye on social media because once FiOS is installed, we are going to do so many live streams next week to make up for the lack of live streams because Comcast has been a piece of garbage and I haven't been able to live stream. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of RuneScape Weekly Elite. See you next week, and as always, happy scaping.